hindsight is 2020. Or if I knew then what I know now. Oh, does that sound familiar? Those statements can apply to a lot of things, but they really, and I mean really, apply to puppy raising. Today's video is all about the stuff you didn't realize you don't know, and it would help you so much if you had learned it earlier. Well, today I'm going to focus on sharing great puppy training info that you can use right now when your puppy is still young. I'll do that by explaining what's to come in your puppy's development. Now, by learning this stuff early on in your puppy's life, you can actually apply it and build some good habits in. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. First things first, I recommend subscribing to my channel so you can be notified when I go live or when I have another great video for you available. Also, hit that bell so we can continue on your puppy journey together. Okay, you know how when you talk to babies, but they don't actually talk back yet? Heck, they can't even understand what you're saying quite yet. But they will eventually understand and will learn to speak too. Did you know that a similar concept exists with puppies? No, I'm not talking about talking, but about behavior in general. Now, the reason we do this with babies is because we know that talking will eventually happen. With puppies, if you know developmentally what's about to come, you can do things that encourage good habits and discourage the bad ones. I'm referring to annoying habits like biting and jumping and barking and crying in the crate. So hear me clearly on this one. You can do things now before those habits even show up. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Now, you might have watched this video about the time we fostered a pity puppy named Feta. From the moment she walked in the door, I knew that she was going to jump if she was given the opportunity. And she's going to be a big dog, so that's going to be a really unpleasant thing. So I started training her not to jump. Here's the important part. Before she even ever started jumping. I did this by rewarding her for a sit and asking her for a sit anytime she wanted something. So she soon learned that good things happen when she sits. You see what I did there? I prevented the bad habit by training her before it even developed. Now, by explaining to you what you're likely to see in your puppy as they develop into an adult dog, you're going to be able to get ahead of the game like I did with Feta. All right, let's go over the three main phases of canine development: puppy, adolescent, and adult dog. This is a simplified version of it, but I think it's going to give you some good information to get you started on your training. So the puppy phase is pretty much what you can expect when getting a new puppy. There's that newborn phase where the puppy is likely still with the mama dog. But around 8 weeks, most puppies go to their human homes. The puppy phase lasts until about 6 months of age, but within that phase, we have a few important mini phases. Now, if you miss some of these mini phases and don't do the things that's going to help your puppy developmentally, you could be impacting your puppy's view of the world for a lifetime. Now, I'm talking specifically about the imprint period. Now, this period lasts up to about 16 weeks of age. During this time frame, the puppy is exploring the world with their mouth and their nose. And exploring and curious puppies leads to confident puppies. That's a good thing. So please don't correct your puppy for exploring. This is when your supervision is most important. So you can let him explore but keep him safe at the same time. Now, this imprint period occurs before the puppy has had all their vaccinations. So maybe you've been advised to keep him home until all vaccinations are complete. That advice drives me crazy. There is a way to help your puppy learn new things and also keep him safe from disease. I cannot stress this enough. Getting your puppy out for positive experiences with new things during this window will set him up for a lifetime of confidence about the world. Now, I have a whole video on how to do it safely before vaccinations are complete. Now, your puppy will be more confident and a settled dog if you can have positive and safe exposure sessions before 16 weeks of age. All right, I think you heard me on that point. Now, let's move on. Now, up to about 3 to 4 months old, your puppy will be naturally compliant. You might brag about how you've taught your puppy to sit and stay and come. Well, it's not quite time for bragging yet. Now, when I talk about the adolescent phase, you'll learn why bragging at this age is just a little premature. Most people love this puppy phase and hope it lasts forever, except for the annoying mouthiness. If that's your life right now, check out this next video. But along with this adorable bouncy puppy comes a short attention span. So training during this time is fun, but it takes a little creativity to do it at the right time in the puppy's schedule. Now your puppy has a very short wake window, so you gotta train at just the right time. In addition to training and socialization, puppies need a lot of sleep. Now I'm talking 16 to 18 hours a day. But they might not be so good at being away from their humans to get this needed rest. New puppy parents often have a lot of questions on how to manage all of these important things at once. Now, these are all things I can help you with the videos on my YouTube channel. These videos cover some great information on important puppy raising topics. Once you've got some good info and you're ready to train, my course is the place to start. Now, the YouTube videos will tell you what to do, but the course will give you the step-by-step of how to do it. Now, I can't teach you all that in a 10-minute video here, but with a robust course, you'll get everything you need. Okay, back to puppy development. One thing I recommend during this puppy phase is to keep a jar of treats or kibble everywhere, all over your house. Now, rewarding your puppy consistently for what you like is the key to producing more good behavior. Hear me carefully on this one. It's better to train now than undo bad habits later. This goes for biting and barking, jumping, and other skills like leash skills and door manners. By rewarding your puppy for all the good things, you're actually teaching good habits, and you're less likely to see the bad ones develop. And if you're already seeing the bad ones, well, you better get started on that training right away. You're not too late, but the longer you wait to address these habits, the harder you're gonna have to work. So, to sum it up, during the puppy phase, I want you to get your puppy out for safe and positive exposure sessions before 16 weeks of age. Train to prevent behaviors you know are coming, even if you don't see them now. Train in short sessions corresponding to your puppy's attention span. Ensure your puppy gets plenty of rest to process all the new things he's learning. Now, if you're in the middle of doing all that and you're having trouble, just reach out and we can get you right on track. It's what we do. All right, are you ready for the next phase of development? Around 6 months of age, puppies begin the adolescent phase. This is when I hear from a lot of people who are struggling with frustrating puppy behaviors. I could have helped them a little easier if they had started working with me about 4 months ago when the puppy maybe was about 8 weeks old. It's not too late to train your dog, but it's harder to undo some of the things that have already been established in your dog's brain. Now, as I mentioned before, the critical imprint period has passed, so it's going to be harder for your dog to form new and positive opinions if he hasn't been socialized at a younger age. It's during this phase that you're more likely to need a professional trainer to work through some of the frustrating behaviors. It's not that you aren't good at dog training, but the problems are becoming bigger than you can handle on your own. Adolescent can start anytime between 6 and 12 months and can end between 18 to 24 months. During this phase, you're going to see a lot of physical development, which includes teeth and growth in the body. During this time, please be careful not to over-exercise joints that aren't fully grown yet. Now you can learn more about that in this video. Growing aches and pains often lead to frustrating behavior for the human because the dog is uncomfortable. Now all these changes in the body are probably keeping him from paying very close attention during training sessions. Have patience and try to keep your dog comfortable with lots of chew toys and things to help him relax. Now remember, he's not giving you a hard time, he's having a hard time. And you are probably pretty grouchy when you're in pain too, am I right? It might not feel like training is working during this phase, but keep at it. Try to offer small wins with easy skills and lots of rewards. Be careful not to ask for more than your puppy can offer at this time. Don't worry, he won't be like this forever, but the more you can work with him, not against him, the better it's going to be for your training. So keep your training session short and fun for both of you. And if you're not enjoying it, he's probably not either, and probably isn't learning much. Now, you heard me talk about how socialization is important during that early imprint period. At this time in your dog's development, I want you to be very careful with how you socialize him. Now, if you get your dog his last set of vaccines and you head off to Doggie Daycare soon after, you're setting your dog up to fail. This kind of overwhelm can be like going from the deprivation chamber to a crowded haunted house. It's just too much and too scary all at once. And this can be one of the biggest causes for reactivity. Honestly, I don't even recommend doggy daycares just because they tend to reinforce a lot of habits we don't want in our dogs. But if you want to try one, just watch this video for some really good tips on how to find a good one. Make sure socialization is comfortable and appropriate for your dog's personality. Not all dogs love other dogs, or even all people and that's okay. During this time, you might see some changes in your dog's behavior that you'd never thought you'd see. This is the age when you might say, oh, he's always been off leash and he's been fine. But this is where I say it's fine until it's not fine, as your off leash dog takes off running. Just get back to the basics on training. Reward him for easy wins and don't take safety risks. Did you know that this is a very common age for pups to end up in shelters? Not that you would do that, but just to let you know that this age can be very frustrating, and a huge majority of dogs who end up in shelters have not received any training. You can avoid this sad fate for you and your dog by putting in the needed training time as early as possible in your puppy's life. And at this age, your dog will also do a lot of confidence building, and it may seem like boundary testing. Now, the confidence building is so important. So make sure he's exposed to new situations in a positive way, aligned with his personality. Avoid situations that make him uncomfortable, and resist the urge to say, oh, he'll be fine, he'll get used to it. At this time, your dog is also looking to you for some information on what's okay and what's not okay in your world. Keep rewarding him for the good stuff and training him to prevent the not so good stuff. He's not testing his boundaries to make you mad. He's just figuring out his place in the world and wants to check in with you to confirm it. Don't believe that myth about being the alpha dog in his pack either. That is actually totally inaccurate. But you are his teacher, so guide him and teach him in a positive way so he builds up trust and a stronger bond with you. As he gets older, during this phase, his attention span will grow. And as you see that happen, you can start to get more creative with your training. You could add in a few more complex skills and start testing them in new environments for longer durations and with more distractions. Now, I want to warn you of a common pitfall during this time. Because our puppies now look like mature dogs and they're sleeping pretty well and probably potty trained, it's easy to start slacking off on training. And we stop playing games or giving the treats, and we stop with the fun play sessions, and we might skip some of the exercise sessions too. When we do that, we are no longer the most important or interesting thing in the room to our dogs. That's the beginning of your dog not listening to you. So to avoid that, continue to invest your time into your dog so your relationship can remain strong and so he's motivated to listen to you. So to sum up this adolescent phase, watch for aches and pains that will impact behavior. Keep up with training even if it feels like it's not working. Be careful not to over-socialize or put your puppy in uncomfortable situations with other dogs or people. Do not over-exercise or put repetitive stress on growing joints. Have patience, but be consistent, as your dog is still learning his role in the family. Do not stop rewarding your dog for things you love. Add complexity to training as you see attention spans increase. Wow, I know that's a lot, but I believe in you. Your puppy believes in you too. Now, the next phase is finally the adult dog. Now, before I get into that though, I just want to thank you for watching today. My team and I work hard to put these kinds of videos together for you. If you'd like to show your appreciation, you can use the thanks feature here on YouTube. You can also share this video with other puppy parents and subscribe to the channel. Those two things really help us too. Okay. The age at which your dog becomes an adult really does depend somewhat on breed and size. Typically for smaller dogs, most are done growing by a year, and for larger dogs by 2 years of age. Now when your dog is an adult, the training you did earlier, as long as you were consistent, is now coming back to benefit you. And that calm, quiet dog you pictured when you got a puppy is now starting to emerge. You can start to see more flexibility with the schedule, like sleeping in on the weekends. Because you've been paying attention to your dog's needs, you're going to find more predictability with situations that your dog will handle well and situations you're going to want to avoid. You can definitely teach new things at this point, but it will go much better if you've already established a training language with each other. When dogs become adults, it's common for humans to relax and just let the dog be a dog, like a permanent fixture in the household. But canines continue to have needs for exercise, enrichment, engagement with humans, and training. Regular decompression walks, enrichment opportunities, and training sessions to work their active brain and just plain fun times with their humans are so important. Some of the more active breeds are now fully grown and can begin entering some of their organized activities or sports that are suited for them. I recommend things like agility or rally obedience. During this time, I want you to continue to provide novelty to meet an active brain. You can do this in locations and experiences. Daily enrichment, also rotated, can provide novelty. It's critical. Now is also the time for more fun party tricks like high five or play dead or other skills that are a little more complex. Your dog will probably enjoy working with you and definitely enjoy working his brain. Now, I know what you're thinking. I got through the raising of one dog, let's do it again so he has a friend. Please resist the urge to get another puppy unless you love the behavior of your older dog. I suggest you wait until your older dog is at least a year old and you've determined that his personality is suited to have another dog around. All right, to sum up the adult phase. Now you can start to relax and allow for some variety in the schedule to see how your dog does. Be sure to keep up with enrichment and training, which engages a dog's brain. And also now is a good time to explore organized activities like dock diving and therapy work and more. And don't get another dog if you're not loving the behavior of your current dog. Don't forget, add variety to your dog's activities, including training games, toys, and experiences. Woo, okay, that was a crash course on puppy development. Hopefully it's gonna give you some good information on what's to come and what you can do right now to prepare for it. Just remember, it's never too late to train a dog, but the earlier you get started, the easier it will be. That's why I try to reach people with puppies who can more easily turn them into dream dogs with a little work on the front end. This is also why I have 2 levels of enrollment in my online course. Now, if your puppy is young and maybe you have a little experience with dogs, the DIY level might be just the perfect fit for you. If your dog is a little bit older, maybe 3 to 4 months, and you're starting to see some frustrating behaviors, you might want to get some guidance from us. You can join us over at Pro Level. Whichever one you choose, I promise you're gonna love it. All right. That's all the time we have for today. So in the comments below, tell me the age of your puppy and what phase of development is he or she in.